Good morning, Breakfast with Friends. This is Tracy English bringing you some gardening tips. Today I'm going to chat about growing onions in your veggie garden. Onions can be grown all year round, and there are different varieties available that vary in shape and color as well as in flavor from very strong to mild. Onions need a full sun position in a well-draining soil. They won't do well if the soil gets waterlogged. However, because they are shallow-rooted plants, they do need regular watering, so keep moist until they are well established. Your onions will be larger if the soil is kept moist during dry weather. Also plant them in a position where they are protected from strong winds that dry out the surface of the soil. The soil also needs to be enriched with lots of compost or well-rotted manure, and also add an organic fertilizer. Also make sure that you remove any weeds from the soil beforehand, because weeds compete for space and water. You also wouldn't want to accidentally pull out a growing onion while trying to remove a weed. Onions can be grown from seeds, purchased seedlings, or sets. Sets are young or immature onion bulbs that can be planted and grown to maturity. Using sets means that you'll get a much quicker harvest than growing them from seeds. Texas grano, an early season onion, and Australian brown, a late season onion, are two varieties both suited to the Cape. With the Australian brown particularly, the young onions can be harvested for scallions. There are also red onions available called red Creole. These are easy to grow, so great for beginner gardeners, and can store for a very long period. When it comes to harvesting onions, allow the onion leaves to die back on their own rather than bending the leaves down in an effort to get the onions to ripen. If you bend the leaves, you end up damaging them, and this can create an entry point for disease. Rather let them die down on their own. The bulbs will continue to swell for about 2 weeks after that, and the onions will develop a rich color, and that's when they are ready to harvest. Lift the onion bulbs gently out of the soil. Handle them carefully so that you don't damage the bulbs. Cuts or scratches on the bulbs can lead to rotting. Onions can store for up to 6 months provided that you cure them properly. This curing process, which basically dries them out, toughens up the outer skin so that your onions can store for longer. Drying takes about 2 weeks, so leave them in an airy space under cover on a drying rack to cure. Other members of the onion family include spring onions, also called bunching onions. These can be sown throughout the year and harvested at any stage from young to mature. White Lisbon is a reliable spring onion variety that produces good quality stems and leaves. It has crisp, succulent stems and a mild onion flavor. The White Lisbon spring onion is also heat and cold tolerant. There's also a red spring onion available with ruby-colored skin and white flesh inside. This spring onion is also juicy and crisp and has a sweet and savory flavor. Spring onions also make good companion plants as they help to deter insects. Leeks are another member of the onion family. They have a sweet, mild onion flavor and are easy on the digestive system. When growing leeks, you need to place a cardboard collar or sleeve over the leeks to blanch the lower stems. Do this about 2 to 3 weeks before harvesting, and be careful to not let dirt get into the collars. The result will be long white stems that you can harvest when the diameter of the stem is about 3 to 4 centimeters wide. So that's all from me for today. For comments or questions, go to my Facebook page called Garden with Tracy.